progress.
Hello and welcome. Let's begin with our virtual housekeeping. Mute your mic when you're not speaking. Please have your video turned on at all times. If you want to be anonymous and keep your video off, you're more than welcome to do so. Please use your headset if possible, especially if you're in a crowded and noisy area. To ask a question, use raise hand button. Usually you will find this button on your Zoom control bar. Alternatively, you can use the chat box and ask your question as well. For high resolution of this video stream on Zoom, use the switch to share content button on top left of your screen. With the experience that we had with Zoom, the legibility of text presented in the presentation is much clearer on a screen size of 12 inch or above. So we will appreciate if you use the 12 inch or above screen size. for a legible text which you would be able to read through. Hello and welcome to you all. My name is Vishal, and this is our book club cohort for APMP, that is the Association for Proposal Management Professionals. So if you are involved in proposal management, or you are one of the team members who compile a proposal, in other words a tender or a bid, this is the cohort for you. We study the body of knowledge from APMP, which has matured over years, and we understand how to of course there are certification that comes along with the APMP. I'm already certified with as a foundation course. I'm looking forward to the next step, and this is an attempt to give a structural thought process when it comes to the people in the industry of bid and management, and of course business development, because these business development guys, the bid starts from the day the business development guy gets a lead and he knows that there might be a potential of a problem that the client is facing, and the client needs a solution. Now this solution can be anything. It can be a software, it can be a custom or a system integrated by using many components, an integrated system, if I may say, which includes hardware, software, and of course a building. Perhaps your building is also a solution that the customer is looking for. Perhaps the customer wants to launch a hotel, okay, and he has got a franchisee from a very famous industry of a very famous hotel chain. So what he wants to do is he wants to give out or establish his hotel, and for that he needs a building. Okay, so that's also a solution, in other words. So without further ado, we will go ahead. And so APMP applies to regardless of the domain that you're working in, be in software, be in building development, or building real estate for that matter. It depends. It all is all up to you. But the principles and the operations which are common to each domain has been discussed in APMP's body of knowledge, and you are encouraged to read through it. It gives a lot of reflection, it gives a lot of clarity, it gives a lot of thought process wherein you get a justification of the work that you're doing, and at times you also get a best practices. Not at times, most of the times actually, because the body of knowledge is actually is a collection of best practices that many people have used over the years. I've been tracking APMP for more than 10 years now, and I know that the body of knowledge has evolved a lot, and it has starting to not only cover the US market, however it has now started covering up or now started even to address the other part of the world, and of course the body of knowledge as well for the other domains as well. So here we are. This is the session number 15. Welcome to you all, people who are on Zoom. Welcome to you, people who are on Facebook and LinkedIn. You all are welcomed. Feel free to type in your question, and we can look forward to answering them. Okay, so where are we? This is the 15 minutes of session. We are at focus on the customer. We have already done understand business development. Now when we are talking about focus on the customer, we don't focus on the customer once the bid has been, and an RFP, request for proposal, has been released. The focus on the customer starts from way before, as I discussed in the opening remarks, in the opening of this session, as I said, that focus on the customer starts from the day the customer gets an idea or a problem to be solved, or he wants to create value, perhaps not only for himself, maybe he wants to do it for his community. Now again, that also is a part of focus of customer. So from the point wherein the customer thinks that I want to build a building, we're taking an example of building, and at that point onwards, you would be looking at the what he wants to build, what is the purpose of that build, okay, and what are the statutory requirements, and so on and so forth. So that's how you try to build up a relation with the customer. And there were strategies wherein even before we did the focus on customer, we wanted to understand, we understood the business development life cycle, and in that life cycle when I say we, what I mean to say is an organization is in an unknown position to a known position to the market leader. They want to make sure that they want to excel themselves and invest money and people investment so that they can move from an unknown position where they are only selling, let's say they want to capture a market share, to a place where they already have a market share, and perhaps they are now spending money into bringing new products or improvements and listening to their customer every now and then. The best example comes to my mind is Apple, wherein their iPhone is being released every year. There are cycles for it, so they keep changing, keep evolving, bringing new things in, and so that the customer is always excited to know what is coming up new. And it's been a charm for the people who are actually who has a fan following for the Apple iPhones and so on and so forth. So so that's the focus on the customer. We have already gone through compliance and responsiveness when it comes to our bids. We have already gone to customer analysis and competitor intelligence. We have gone through the customer relation management systems. Now these systems, I'm not talking barely about the softwares, I'm also talking about how people need to interact with the customer. That is also a part of customer relationship management. Developing a business case, we saw that last time, how we can develop a business case, and business case is on both sides of the table. Now, who are the two guys on the both sides of the table? One side is the buyer and the other side is the seller. Now, the buyer, because he wants to buy, now we're talking about B2B kind of environment, not a B2C kind of environment. So in a B2B environment where a business to business selling is happening, the buyer needs to put forward a request to its management that we need to buy these software, perhaps these services, perhaps, or perhaps we need to buy some real estate buildings for putting up our employees over there because we are expanding. So they need to put a business case to their management as a buyer, and the management can go ahead and say yes, go ahead and approve. They will ask you to go ahead and approve, and they will ask you to go ahead with the purchase. Whereas on the other side of the table is the seller. The seller would be building a business case for their internal departments as well, and of course their management also, especially if there is a capital investment required, and of course some statutory requirements are required. So these guys would be, of course, having those points in there, having those they will build a business case and present it to their management, and that would be the part of a bid and no bid. Okay, more or less there is a very thin line between these business cases for both ends, and most of the times the business development team themselves does the business case for the client also, for the buyer as well. I mean, that's the relation, because at the end of the day, before they put the solicitation outside to the whole world, they give you an option. Okay, you write the business case for me as well, and people are more than happy to do that, actually, if you ask me. Okay, so today we will be looking at the developing opportunity or capture management system. Now, once you have found out that there is an opportunity, you need to capture it, just like the boy on the right hand side is doing so. He has a Polaroid, but we as a business development people, as a bid managers, or perhaps business development managers, we have a different strategy. Okay, and we will be looking at few of these today. We are already at an end of our time today, so we'll talk the first point, and the next points we will take in our next session. Distinguish strategy at different phases of the business development process. Okay, so when you're doing the strategy of your business development, you need to keep aligning your business to the customer's requirement. Okay, now let's say now these are elevator pitch, perhaps, wherein you went to a customer and you want to bid for their software, and your company does not have that capability. So you need to start strategizing for it and ensure that you have something to give away as far as the customer is concerned, something to give away to assure the end user or the purchaser that yes, we can cater to your requirement. So at the various phases of your business development process, you need to have this strategy, and just to let you know that the business development process is is a very elaborate one given in the APMP, where an organization starts from an unknown position to a known position, improved position, and then they are in a favorite position. So, which includes market identification, account planning, your opportunity assessment. Now, here is where you make a union between the opportunity assessment and, of course, developing the opportunity. So, do you have that kind of capability? And in the business development life cycle, you bring those capabilities at least in a soft way, so that the client or the end user has that faith on you. We will look at the rest of the points in our next session. For today, we are more or less done. We are running out of time for today. You have been an awesome audience. People joined in on Zoom, LinkedIn, and YouTube and Facebook. Up until next time, stay safe. See you next week, same time. Bye-bye.
Record.